Okay, everyone, sit down, because we've got a lot, and I mean a bunch, I mean a lot, to cover. This includes a huge announcement from Monty at the end, so keep watching. First things first, roadmaps likely aren't coming, but Monty dropped in June 26th to drop some knowledge bombs on us. I've talked about player-facing roadmaps a few times here. I'm generally not a fan of them at this stage in the product lifecycle. I should be talking to you guys more about what's in development, but it's been an unexpectedly busy summer for me. Let's address the elephant in the room. They are still actively working on Little Alchemist. Right now, they're not super focused on helping the veterans as much as the new players. We're pretty laser focused on improving early to mid retention, day 30 to day 90 in particular, engagement, day over day return, and new player purchase conversion. The team loves the community and always tries to squeeze in stuff that we call player love features. That doesn't mean he's not trying to create new content for vets. Not because things aren't happening, the team is jamming. The main issue is that all the stuff you guys really want in the short term is blocked by me. I am doing some design stuff this week, including updating the vault packs, reviewing pack pricing, and figuring out if there's a way to avoid skulls as you complete heroics battles. Once I'm happy with those, I'll give them to the team and they'll try to fit them into an upcoming release. Monty is working on designing a few things for heroics as well, but this is also kinda towards the beginning of the phases. I am finally actively working on heroic design changes. I was hoping to get them 4 to 5 weeks ago, but other stuff kept catching on fire. As I said, I often overestimate my ability to get design work done and I second guess myself a lot during the process. Here's the blocks I'm trying to work through. Vault packs. I know that we can safely change the content of these packs, yeah, but do we A. expand them to include all of the cards, B. divide all the cards into smaller packs and cycle through them, C. remove a bunch of old cards and have a smaller but fresher set of packs, or D. create a smaller OCC pack that has a single new Onyx combo card that gets cycled every season. 2. Pack pricing. What do we want players to spend their skulls on? Should we reduce or replace the options here? Should we make things like gold final farms and diamond final forms really cheap? Should shards live here? Heroics is hard for most players for years. How do we make the rewards enticing for all players? Skull progression. I know I want to nudge the game towards competing against myself instead of climbing the leaderboard. It feels like awarding skulls for the first time you defeat a boss might nudge it in that direction. I also like that you can get rewards during the season instead of waiting until the end, but I'm going back and forth on how to balance that. The designs may finish the week of June 24th, but they are, again, just the design phases. Monty has to work on all these designs in his free time. My partners hate when I commit to dates. Tiggs really hates it. This is partially because I'm always too optimistic about how much free time I have to do the design work, and partially because the team already has a plan and me tossing stuff to them is disruptive. We've tested adding new cards to vault packs and know that works. That should be the change you guys see first. Pack pricing will involve some modeling from our amazing product manager to prevent me from breaking the Skull's economy. That might take some iteration. Skull awards for beating bosses will likely require some engineering work, making it a bit harder to squeeze into a sprint. But once I've made the design decisions and defeated the stalwart defenders of the game, producer and engineering manager, things should get tackled in the above order. They're working on a design for new ways to achieve skulls, but they're thinking pretty heavily on what you can buy with skulls. One of the ideas I was exploring was removing the random from some of the items in the vault shop, so you know exactly which gold combo card, gold final form, and diamond final form you'll get when you spend your skulls. The minimum would be expanding the loot pool to include all of the existing OCC and GCC cards. The debate I've been having, mostly with myself, is thinking about adding new OCCs that can only be found in vault packs. They have sprints, which I imagine are the team's first priority, which seems to include heroics reworks. As I mentioned, the team is focused in improving the metrics that I listed, so things like heroics improvements get added to sprints where there is available resources. Some of the stuff we're talking about, an example, heroic pack contents, are data driven and won't take much effort, mostly testing to make sure nothing breaks. The stuff that requires engineering effort, like the skulls per boss feature, is a lot tougher to squeeze in. Heroics is also on Monty's short-term plan. I've got a list of short-term changes, tuning tiers, expanding heroic pack contents, and reviewing heroic pack costs. There's a long-term list as well, but it's pretty aspirational at this point. Even with all these things happening as soon as possible, it's just the design phase, so it can still take a while. Monty himself said this regarding holding skulls. I don't know if it's worth holding on to your skulls or not. Even after I submit my changes, I'm not sure how long it'll take the team to release them. There will be new packs in the vault though, that much I am sure about. In addition to heroics, Monty also brought up a few points for arena. None of this is confirmed that it's going to make it into the game, but we can hope. My current thought is to dramatically reduce the cost of the first batch of PvP health upgrades. I want to get most players in the 45 to 55 health range. That'll make it a lot easier for us to balance the game. Another, less important for players for now, arena update. We do have lots of cool stuff in the works. Some of the changes are pretty cool but not really player facing yet. For example, this week we're rolling out an overhauled battle system, a major update to the tech, and one that will allow cool new features, but nothing you guys will feel right now. These types of updates are super exciting for me but pretty boring for players. And another update where the date and time hasn't been set in stone. We're going to try some new things with the daily deals in the Cauldron that should be fun. A major point that Monty was bringing up was how important the cash flow was from Little Alchemist so that it could go back into the marketing for it. This was one of the first times he brought up marketing money. It's getting pretty close to the point where we can start spending meaningful marketing money on Little Alchemist Remastered. Monty is saying here that he needs to improve new player experience to fix the veteran experience. This one's a long one, so buckle up. The glaring issue with the game is that I'm unable to spend massive piles of cash on marketing. I believe that Little Alchemist can be a massive game with hundreds of thousands of daily active players, and that's what I'm trying to build. So while I am committed to things that are fun and engaging for veteran players, including heroics updates, new islands, new game modes, etc., the reality is that those features won't improve the early to mid-game retention, engagement, and monetization that will unlock that marketing spend. I'm not trying to throw a wet blanket on this community. You guys are awesome. I'm just trying to be transparent about what we're doing behind the scenes. Super excited about the guild stuff. There was a guild leak from Monty, but I don't have enough information on that yet, and I'm not an established reporter yet with a journalism degree, so let's not worry about that for now. But what you should worry about for now is this. Drum roll, please. I said drum roll. Ta-da! As I mentioned in passing, we're testing a new game in Southeast Asia right now. It's built on the Little Alchemist engine and it's pretty neat. And it's called Nickelodeon Card Clash. It's similar to Animation Throwdown from what I've seen. For those that don't know what it is, I'm jealous of you for one, and for two, it's not like Little Alchemist where you have every card that can combo with every other card, but you have character cards and object cards. Characters can only combine with objects, objects and objects won't work, and character won't work. And here is a video that I have permission to show y'all. Now I'll talk over this to save time, you're welcome. So I know what you're thinking, is Little Alchemist getting thrown into the back burner? Well, Monty said this. Not at all. We've been working on this full time for 2 years. Monty has been adamant of all this information, but with the lack of hard dates, we're just kind of sitting and waiting in a game that, in my opinion, is getting more and more stale and stagnant as time goes on. The gameplay for Card Clash looks very flashy and exciting, and I will be playing it when it comes out, but it's not Little Alchemist, and that's what most of the community is wanting. This has been your host, Flounder, signing off. Please like and subscribe.